The first segment of the Hot 7 Nightly News is brought to you by Flow.
Tonight, the St. Lucia Fire Service gives an update on a suspected drowning and the discovery of a body over the weekend. The transport sector is hit hard by COVID-19, and Dr. Ernest Hilaire fires back at claims that he is a hypocrite now that he is the tourism minister. The details of these stories and more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Monday, the 30th of August, 2021. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. I'm Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. Officers of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force are investigating the homicide of a young male on Monday afternoon. According to reports, the victim, identified as 26-year-old Christus Jabatis of Boaden Jacmel, was shot multiple times. Communications Officer of the St. Lucia Fire Service, Stacey Joseph, has the details.
Officers at the Fire Service headquarters responded to an emergency call on Monday, 30th August at approximately 1:55 p.m. The information received stated that there was an alleged shooting incident at Roseau. The emergency crew found on scene a male individual lying on the ground in the presence of police officers. An assessment of the patient revealed that he sustained several penetrating wounds on his body. Due to the obvious signs of death, the scene was left in the care of the police.
Video footage of the deceased at the scene of the crime has since gone viral. While police continue investigations into a suspected drowning at Redwee Beach and the recent discovery of an unresponsive security guard at the Blue Coral Mall, the St. Lucia Fire Service is giving its account of what obtained when its personnel arrived on the scene of both incidents. They occurred on Saturday, the 28th of August.
Saturday, August 28th saw two incidents which have left St. Lucians in a daze, as one of them seemed quite bizarre and the other occurred after curfew hours. The first incident is that of the discovery of an unresponsive female security guard at the Blue Coral Mall, who was found on the bathroom floor. The victim has been identified as Kezia St. Martha of Goodlands, and according to the St. Lucia Fire Service, there were obvious signs of death on arrival at the scene.
At approximately 5:30 a.m. on Saturday, 28th August, personnel from the Fire Service headquarters responded to a distress call near the Blue Coral Mall in Castries for an unresponsive female. The responding officers found one female appearing to be in her 30s lying face down on the floor. The patient was unresponsive, and an assessment revealed that she had no vital signs with obvious signs of death. She was then pronounced dead by a medical practitioner, and the scene was left in the care of the police.
The second incident occurred about 5 p.m. on Saturday, 1 hour after the island went under curfew. According to reports, the man, who is believed to be a foreign national, went out for a swim when witnesses heard a cry for help. When he was fished out of the water, the individual had no signs of life.
Officers at the Gros-Islet Fire Station responded to a call on Saturday, 28th August at approximately 4:50 p.m. The information received stated that there was a possible drowning incident at Redwee Beach in Gros-Islet. Emergency personnel found a male individual appearing in his 50s lying on his side on the beach. A rapid assessment revealed that the individual was void of vital signs. CPR was immediately initiated but proved to be futile, and the patient was subsequently pronounced dead on the scene by a medical practitioner.
Police are yet to reveal the identity of the foreign national, as contact has not yet been made with the family. They continue to investigate the incidents. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
The island's transportation sector continues to be affected by COVID-19, having recorded 1 death and 5 other COVID-positive cases as of Thursday, the 26th of August. On Monday morning, the National Council on Public Transportation reported that the situation has gotten worse, with 30 individuals now testing positive for COVID-19.
Commuters using public transportation are being encouraged to follow the COVID-19 prevention and control measures as the sector continues to record cases of COVID-19. The all-essential service, which sees thousands of commuters daily, is critical to get people to and from their destinations, primarily their places of employment. The sector is not immune from the current surge in COVID-19 cases, as on Thursday, officials of the National Council on Public Transportation held an emergency briefing to update the nation on its COVID-19 status. Since that announcement, more routes have been affected by the pandemic and more cases have been reported. The association's vice president briefed the public on the developments on Monday.
From Thursday, when we were here, we were at 4, 2 critical, 1 deceased, which was very bad. The loss of 1 minibus operator is just too many. However, the situation deteriorated on Thursday into Friday. And from what going into the weekend, we had 16 operators who were already positive for that COVID virus. What we noted going into the weekend and into this morning, the situation have gotten a bit worse in that we now have 13 routes, that is throughout St. Lucia, that are infected. We still have 2 in critical, and we are trying to make the best out of the situation, hence the reason the discussion with the COVID Command Center Friday into Saturday, looking at reducing the number of persons on the public service vehicle.
In an effort to urgently address the current spike in cases, the Cabinet of Ministers agreed to a number of measures which included reverting to a maximum of 10 passengers on board an omnibus. Frederick says that the decision was not taken because minibus drivers are being blamed for spreading the virus, but rather to help better manage the current outbreak.
It's not worth trying to squeeze into a bus to get where you need to go and then it make you your health or your life. I know over the weekend we were faced with many challenges in that some drivers want to cooperate, but then members of the public are not cooperating. In that the driver will say, I have 10, I cannot take any more, and then you find 2 or 3 persons come on board.
Right.
Even at that stage, the driver would not have confrontation to put persons off. So we ask of the public, because most of the drivers want to do what is right. Nobody wants a ticket of $250 or $500, what it may be, but to provide the service with the constraints that we have now.
As of Sunday, August 29th, the total number of cases diagnosed in country stood at 8,111, with 1,970 active cases. The adjusted protocols will be in effect from August 28th to September 6th, 2021. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
Last week, the opposition United Workers' Party released a statement to, quote, expose the shameless hypocrisy of Dr. Ernest Hilaire and the ruling St. Lucia Labour Party, end quote. In the statement, the UWP accused Dr. Hilaire of bashing the former government when in opposition about visitors being the cause of the surge in COVID-19 cases, but now that he is in government, blaming the youth for the increase. On Monday, Dr. Hilaire told the media that a full response will be given to the UWP during Parliament on Tuesday.
Well, I guess tomorrow in the House I will provide a comprehensive response to that, but nothing new. I mean, Ernest Hilaire has been attacked every day by the United Workers' Party for the last 5 years, and they will continue to do so. They'll probably be more vicious now, but the point is, you know, there are a lot of things a lot of us said 1 year ago that we will not say now about the virus. There are a lot of things people are saying now about vaccines and virus that they were not saying a year ago. In fact, a year ago we didn't have a vaccine. So a lot has changed then, and if there was anything that was said which happened to be wrong or proven to be wrong, then have to accept that.
The government is being heavily scrutinized for its approach in handling the COVID-19 pandemic. Dr. Hilaire explained that it is outrageous that anyone would think that the SLP administration would be able to magically change the COVID-19 situation in St. Lucia.
This is I think my 3rd week as a minister, and to blame me for the COVID situation in this country, it really does not make sense. I mean, you can't be blamed now for the COVID situation in this country. But again, tomorrow in the House, I think we'll have an interesting day.
That was Tourism Minister Dr. Ernest Hilaire. You're watching the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us. Still to come, the National Youth Council expels its president following allegations of sexual misconduct. Dominic Fede calls on the government to invest in quarantine facilities. And St. Lucia could soon see the decriminalization of cannabis. That and more after the break.
The first segment of the Hot 7 Nightly News was brought to you by Flow.